You know what? Today's class is going to be so interesting. I really like that topic. Today we are going to work about idol worship. Hey, stop. And the question for today's class is, what do you worship? Do you remember what's the meaning of worship?
No, I don't remember.
To adore idols, no?
Aha, to adore idols. Excellent. That's the point. All right. And so we are going to ask the question if we adore, if we worship anything. But previously, I would like to talk to you about idols in the past. For example, here, can you notice that we have idols from different cultures?
Exactly.
For example, here there are the Egyptian ones, the Mesopotamian ones.
Mesopotamians.
There was also in Egypt. People used to worship cats.
Cats, exactly.
Do you remember what happened about cats? What did people think about cats? Why were they considered sacred?
In India, no?
In India, yes.
In India. I don't know. I don't.
No? What about you, Emiliano?
No, I don't know.
No? Well, they were supposed to be the impersonator of God. So cats were supposed to protect people from evil, from bad spirits.
That's on India or in Egypt?
In Egypt, in the ancient Egypt. Nowadays, cats are not considered to be holy animals or to be anything, even though many people don't like cats. But yes, in the past, they were supposed to be impersonators of God. Do you know anything about another culture? For example, here we have the Aztec culture. Here we have a Greek culture. So why don't you help me to write in the chat what you know about any culture?
Aztecs, no? The Aztecs used to worship the dog, the Xoloscuintle, because they say that this dog accompanied his souls in the inframundo. Something like.
Okay, hey, that's great. So why don't you write it in the chat so that we can start working about grammar? Okay, right. Well, you know what? Of course, this is not an anthropology class. This is an English class. So if you have information about it, excellent. If you don't have it, write whatever you may like. It is not important that you know or not. The most important in here is that you know how to explain your ideas, how to express.
Okay. Okay.
Teacher, no, well, I don't know, but for example, here in Mexico, many people say that Catholicism or the Catholic people worship idols because we worship images of La Virgen de Guadalupe, of a Christ, and they say the Protestants say that we worship of idols. However, well, we have to respect any religion because it is part of human beings. In my case, I consider that if we believe in God, it is not necessary to have an image to worship. I consider that if I believe in God and and my faith is big, I consider that I can say my prayers in my mind. It is not necessary to have an image, no?
Well, I agree with you.
Uh-huh.
You know what? Time ago, I used to be a Catholic person, but
Mhm.
nowadays, I don't agree very much with some uh, ideas that people in the church have. So
Mhm.
of course, I do believe in God, but not in the church. And as you said,
Mhm.
I guess that God is in all of our hearts. And so
Exactly.
it is necessary to be sincere. Well, for me, in my
Mhm.
opinion, it
Mhm.
is necessary to be sincere, to be a good person, and to help the others,
Mhm.
but not to be thinking about the power of God, not to be
No.
afraid of God. Because
Mhm.
in religion, they talk a lot about that you have to be afraid of God. I don't believe,
Mhm.
I don't believe that point, and I don't know how it is possible that God could punish we or his children.
No. No.
Uh, I remember that when I was a little child, my
Mhm.
granny used to say, "No, baby, don't do that because God is going to."
Punish you.
And I said, "Then God is a bad person." And she said, "No, no, 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 don't you ever say that. God is not a bad person." But I was in a conflict
Yes,
because I
yeah.
said, "All right, if God is not a bad person, why is he going to punish me? You said that he loves me, but you say that he's going to send me to hell. So
Yes.
what happens? Is he good? Is he bad? Where am I going to be if I eat two chocolates instead of one?"
Yes. Yes, this is another form to another form of the government. I consider that church is a little gives us a lot of rules too. It's another government in different
Mhm.
situations, but at the same time, give us rules to obey. Mm, that's why, from my point of view, I consider that it is not necessary to go to church. In fact, with me, I don't go to church. I used to go when I was a child. I used to go to the church with my mother, my brothers, because on Sundays, because it was a tradition. But when I began to think about the situations with the church and what the priest used to say, I said, no, 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 no. Yeah, I don't believe that God is going to punish me because uh, I didn't go to school, for example, or because I didn't obey my mother, or because I say a swear word. No, I don't believe that God is going to punishes me. That's why I began to question myself, to wonder if the church is no, if God is bad. No, that's why I consider that is another form to impose rules to people.
It's a way of control.
Exactly, it's another form of control. To control. It's another form of controlling, no?
So, Emiliano, what do you think about it? Do you agree or are you against? What do you think about it?
About God and the church,
What do you think about it?
that's the question. Okay. Well, I agree with Michel Foucault about the every everyone is everything institution needs um, a form to government to punish the others. They, he said that not just the justice institution, even the education, the the religion institutions are a form to government the others and to uh, use the power because he said that one doesn't have the power, because the power is, I don't know how to say ejercer.
Perform.
Uh, perform.
Perform.
Oh, okay. So the power it's performed.
Yes.
That's complicated because for me, because perform uh, even, well, means to as desempeño.
Something that you do. For example, a singer performs.
Yes.
An
Oh, but
actor performs.
okay.
Yeah, something that you are supposed to do and you do it is what you perform.
Okay.
All right.
There is another synonymous to that word.
What you want to say is that we do uh, what what the church do, or could you remind me the idea?
Yes, I will try to write in the chat.
So I remember that in the Golden Ass text.
Yeah, that's a text by the Greek author. I think he wrote that text on maybe the 1st century, and it's about a metamorphosis process.
Mhm.
And one of the chapters they talk about the I don't know how to say Cupid in English.
Cupid.
Cupid, and the soul that they call Psyche, and how they fall in love, and Psyche at the end transform in a butterfly.
Hey, that's nice. Well, you know what? Well, first of all, let me tell you that I really like everything about Greek culture. I think that it is passionating, but it is also so confusing. The theogony, because Zeus was the father of all the gods, but he had a wife. Her name was Hera, and she was the mother of all the gods. But even though that he had his wife, suddenly he had a son with a princess and with another woman and with his daughter and with the daughter of the mother of I don't know who. Oh my! So I said, that man was a loquillo because he had children with many other women. All right, Emiliano, I would like to mark some, some little errors that I saw in your writing in the chat. So
Okay.
you said, I remember that in the Golden Ass text, I think that the author is instead of it's.
Okay.
The author is Greek and period. The butterfly.
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening, Letty. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Sorry, I'm late.
Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. You know what? We are talking about idol worship. It's going to be so nice. Okay, Emiliano, here you are. Just remember. Oh, I'm sorry, I wrote it. The author is. We are not going to say it because it is another subject. So the
Yes.
author is a subject, it is a subject, or not necessary. The author is Greek. The butterfly represents, because it is a third person, the sow.
Oh, yes.
All right.
Well, I will write about the what I said.
Change
That
to form.
I don't know if it's correct. The institution are a form or a mode, or
A way,
how can I say forma?
a
A
way,
way?
a way of control. And a way to perform power. Excellent. That's okay.
That's it.
That's good.
Okay. Yes, it's difficult to me to, I don't know, to process that because I always think on performance, something you do, but for me in Spanish, hacer y ejercer maybe could be some different, I don't know,
Format too, no?
how can I say, connotaciones, has different
Connotations.
connotations.
Notations.
The hacer or do and ejercer. So, but I try to process that.
Yeah, that's it. So you
It's
know
good to
what?
know.
So I am going to try to get some other examples in the net so that you can see. All right.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right. So, Letty,
Yes.
you know what? We are talking about idols and some uh, ideologies in the past. So, could you talk to us? Could you share something that you know about some cultures, some ancient cultures?
Okay. Okay. I am watching that pictures. I suppose it's about Egypt, the Egypt gods. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I if I am okay, I remember that Egypt has a lot of gods. All of their gods are about the nature or something like that, no? And
Uh-huh.
about the death. I think that that kind of cat, no, is I think it's Osiris or
Yes.
Uh-huh.
huh?
Yes, that's
Uh,
it.
and I think Egypt is a very important culture. Is the basement at a lot of ideologies, no? But
Uh-huh.
in my own case, I love Greek mythology.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love Aphrodite. I don't know if in English is the name Aphrodite.
Aphrodite.
Aphrodite, Zeus. Um, who else? Who else?
It was Apollo.
Apollo, yes.
Yeah.
Poseidon, no,
Oh, yeah.
etc.
Yeah.
But I think um, that civilizations um, have uh, have that kind of ideas because they need to believe in something, no?
Uh-huh.
They need a power moves that move them in order to maybe reach um, the conquer of many countries or civilization or another civilizations, no? And
Mm-hmm.
they almost never did anything without the uh, the permission of that gods.
How those gods. Yes, you're right.
I thought, sorry, yes.
No, it's okay. Hey, that's pretty good. Yes, you're right. And well, in fact, I remember also that there were not only gods but also semi-gods
Oh,
eh,
yes.
who
Ah,
were
yes.
the children of Zeus and a mortal woman.
Yeah. One of them was ¿cómo se llamaba el de Troya? Este,
Achilles.
Achilles?
Achilles, no, Achilles. The person that killed Hector in Troya's movie.
Yes, was Achilles.
Achilles? Oh, yes, really? I don't remember.
Yes, it was Achilles.
Okay, Achilles, yeah. He was a semi-god, no?
I guess he was one. The other one was Hercules.
Hercules, yeah. And Kronos, also Kronos.
But Kronos was a god, wasn't he?
If
Yes, he
yes?
was the god of time, I think.
Well, okay. Yes.
Well, I guess that he was the lord of time.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
He was the god of time.
And Aphrodite in Rome, bueno, the name of Aphrodite in Rome was Minerva, no?
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, because the Romans had also some similarities with the Greek culture, but their names, no, their names were slightly different.
Yes. Yes, and I don't know, but I think most of the stars had the name of no. At present, the months of the year have that names because of the what of the planets, no? For example, in Spanish, for example, Martes comes from Marte, no? Mars, sorry.
Mars.
Mars.
That's it, yes. And so, for example, Neptuno, Pluto, Mercury,
Jupiter, no?
Jupiter, excellent, yes. Jupiter, as far as I am concerned, was a giant.
Yes, and it has 8 rings.
Yes, that's it. All right, you know what? Here Emiliano wrote something in the chat. He wrote, the Romans took everything culture and improved it. Hey, that's it, Emiliano. Yes, you're right. Just remember to use the past and improved.
The D at the end.
That's it. You skipped the D. It's okay. Hey, that's pretty good. Yes. All right. You know what? Isaac, what do you think about it?
Yes, you are right. In fact, I agree with you because I consider that in all the cultures exists a divine power. For example, Buddha, Christ, and many others. In Mexico was who was the plumed serpent?
Quetzalcoatl.
Quetzalcoatl, and all of them are the same. But it is different. It's different in the cultures. In Mexico, we believe in the plum serpent.
Yeah, that's it. Well, you know what? That was in the past. But what happens in the present? Nowadays, in many countries, people used to worship animals. For example, here in Himalaya, people are very attentive to the decisions and to the demoning of monkeys. And in India, for example, people used to worship rats. Or
cows, no?
Here cows are considered holy and auspicious in Hindu culture.
What does mean auspicious?
Auspicious is that they predict
Okay.
abundance, or they predict that there's gonna be a famine, starving, drones, and some natural phenomena.
Okay.
Yes, that's it. So what do you think about this?
It's weird in some way.
Have you?
It, I don't know about the rats on India.
Oh yes, there is a temple where rats are considered holy. And
Oh yes,
so,
that's a ancient temple that it's abandoned. Yes,
uh-huh,
I think, well, I remember a documentary about that, but I don't
yes.
remember too much.
And you know what? People in India don't have food. But anyway, rats and cows can eat pretty well. For example, look at this image. The rats are drinking milk,
They feed
and,
animals. Yes.
and people are not supposed to drink milk even.
Yes.
Even children, they are not supposed to drink any other but maternal milk, and that's all.
Yeah. They can die, but they don't eat any meat, any milk, anything about cows, no?
Yes, that's it. But even cows are considered holy
Holy,
as
yeah.
rats. So, well, there are, I guess, there are differences between the cultures. Obviously, everything is respectable.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
yes, there are some things that for me are a little crazy.
Yes, I think
Yes.
so.
So, what do you know about this animal worship? Any other example around the world?
I don't know.
No?
Where the elephants in the India were considered sacred, no?
Yes, that's it, because they are the image of Ganesh. The god
Oh
Exactly.
Ganesh.
yes.
Um,
Yes, that's right. I don't know if you saw the movie picture 7 Years in the Himalaya.
No.
mhm.
No?
No. Me no.
That's no, that's a very nice movie picture, and it was performed by Brad Pitt.
No.
Mm, mm,
And
A
well,
handsome man.
a so handsome man. But yes, you know what? Here Emiliano wrote, it is because milk comes from cows. Yes, it may be. It may be, you're right. Well, talking about the movie picture, it is supposed to be the adventure that um, a young engineer had, because he was hired, he was contracted for building a theater there in Himalaya. But first of all, he had to choose, to select the place where the theater was going to be. And so here the problem was that he selected a very nice soil, and he said, this is the perfect place. But whenever he began to do the building, he began to make holes. People began to shout, no, no, not there. And he said, why? And he said, and people said, because there are many ants, and
And
they are their houses. And ants, well, they are little insects, but according to their culture, people said that little animals could be the impersonator of any other person who lived here before. For example, my father my uncle. So that little cockroach can be my aunt.
How do you say? In Spanish is reencarnación, but in English, what's
Uh,
the name?
I don't remember how to say it in English, but just give me 1 second and
I
I
think
will.
it's reborn or not. It's another.
Aha,
Yes.
renacer, reborn. Aha,
Yeah.
yep, that's it. You're right.
Okay.
Aha, and so thank you very much. And so, yes, people was considered to reborn in little insects. So that's why it was not possible to do the theater to give that part. And so he was 7 years looking for the perfect place to do the theater, but he never found it because everywhere there were little animals. And
Okay.
of course, they couldn't be killed. In the story, uh, at first he is so so angry, so mad because he couldn't start his work. But at last, at the end, he understood their point of view and he turned into a more respectful person because he could realize what was the point for reborning. And so, yes, that's a very nice and interesting movie picture.
Okay.
All
And
right.
I don't like a lot that kind of movies about I don't Himalaya or for example Lost in the Deep of the Sea or something like that. I don't like it because I feel very nervous.
Sometimes it can be scary.
Yeah.
All right. So, Emiliano, what do you think about it?
Yes, I wrote a question in the chat because I think how the natives choose where to build their houses, so or where they live, if they
Ah,
can build
well,
something.
well, I guess that first of all, they have to very carefully look for the place where there are less insects. Later on, they
Okay.
have to ask for permission. In Arabic, they
Oh,
call it the halal. So they ask for permission to take their lives, and later on they ask for forgiveness. They say, please
okay.
forgive me because of my fault. You lost your life, but it
Okay.
was in my benefit. So thank you for your sacrifice.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? Time ago, you made me remember something. Time ago, I went to Indiana, the University of Indiana, and there
Yes.
I met some Arabic people.
Okay.
They were my friends. And
Mhm.
you know what? People get crazy about Mexican food. So they asked
It's
me to,
delicious.
it's really delicious. So they asked me to cook Mexican food for them. And
Ah,
the only one thing that I could find over there was chicken and onion, tomato,
mhm.
so I prepared tinga.
Mm,
With tostadas, toast.
Some toast, tinga, and white rice and Jamaica fresh water.
Oh,
I think it's very difficult
delicious.
to cook Mexican dishes, the United States, because you don't have the you don't have enough ingredients in
Aha,
order to prepare our typical dishes. No.
because of the taste, no? Here we say the sazon.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's different. Yes, that's it. Well, to cut the short story long, I will tell you that they came they came to my apartment and the Arabic people told me, hey Maggie, thank you very much because you invited us to share your meals with us. And so what did you prepare for us? And I said, that's a tinga, chicken tinga. And they said, wow, what
Chicken.
is it? And I said, well, it's a dish that it's traditionally made of chicken and tomato and blah, 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 no? And they said, suddenly Abdullah said, Maggie, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you know how were the chicken dead? How were,
Yes,
and I
yes.
said, no. And they said, did you kill the chickens? No, no, of course I didn't kill the chickens. I bought them in Walmart. Okay, but do you know how they died? And I said, no. Oh, Maggie, I'm sorry, then we can't eat. And I said, but it is delicious. I prepare it myself. It's clean, it's nice, and so it won't make you any damage. And they say, yes, Maggie, but we can't do it. So we're so sorry, we can't eat. And I said, but how come? And suddenly Abdullah told me, you know, Maggie, for eating any meat, chicken, pork, whatever, first of all, we can have the halal. And I said, what is it? And he explained to me that
Pray.
halal has to be done before the sun rises, and the animal has to be positioned in the place where the sun is going to appear.
Right.
And later on, they have to ask for permission to the animal to take its life.
Yes.
Later on, you have to explain the reason why you are going to kill him. Then you have to ask for the forgiveness of the animal. And finally, you have to thank the animal for having offered its life because of your benefit. So if you do that, or if you know that somebody did in that way, you can eat. Any other way, you can't eat it because you condemned your soul.
Oh.
And you have to be sure that the animal didn't suffer any before dying. So that's the halal.
How interesting.
I think it's a good custom. Yes, I think it's a good custom.
I think it comes from the, I don't know, the old testament in the Bible. No, because in the ancient times, the Hebreos, how do you say Hebreos?
The hip.
The what, sorry?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. The people in the Bible, the Jews, used to, when they sacrifice the best animal they had to God, they had to pray and offer it to God. And I think it's something like that. And that animal had to be without any mistake, could be, yeah.
Yes.
And I suppose it comes from that, no?
I go by that. You know what? I agree with you. What do you think about it, Isaac?
Yes, I agree with you. In fact, I have a friend, well, he's an old man, and he always say his prayers before eating a beef stick.
Beef
Or
steak, yes.
he's going to eat meat because he said that animals gives their life for us, and he says his praise. But not only with animals, when he's going to tear something out, for example, with the plants. First of all, he is going to say his prayers before tearing a branch out of a, how say, maguey or sabila.
Aloe?
aloe, exactly. Because he says that aloe is beneficial for him, but he asked for permission to the aloe. He says his prayers and he asks for permission. He says, Sister Aloe or Brother Aloe, could you give me a branch of from you because I want to be healthy. I am not healthy, but I know that your branch is going to help me get my health again. And he asked for permission to the plant. I don't know. For me, it's very funny, and I don't know if it is true or not. But he says that plants he hears us, and the plants are our brothers and sisters as animals too.
I think
It's crazy. It's a little crazy and funny, but it is true. He says that it's very important to ask for permission to plants before eating a branch out.
what do you think about it, Letty?
I think it's how can I explain it? I think it's very important to many people, no? And I think it's okay, but that kind of traditions were in the Old Testament. The New Testament is different because the life at present is different. Maybe some situations could be similar, but the life, the situations, a lot of things are present are different. That's why the Bible are divided in two, Old and New Testament.
Now,
because supposedly at present we are living in the grace, and the first part of the Old Testament are very, very rude, very rigid. It could be. They have a lot of rigid laws because of different situations, no?
Yes, I think so.
You know what? I think that, yes, as you said, Letty, life has changed a lot. But I strongly believe that we continue worshiping. Now,
we continue what? Sorry,
we worship. Nowadays, we worship
yes.
also
Yes.
some other things.
Yes.
Emiliano wrote, I think it's a way to show respect to the environment, and don't forget that all being lived are important. Lives are important.
That's a correct form to say seres vivos, being lives.
Being
Yes.
lives.
Being lives.
That's it. Pretty good. All right. And so, Emiliano, what do you think about this? Do you consider that I am right with my theory? Do we continue worshiping?
Yes. Yes, I think we worshiping not just maybe gods or a superior power, but we worship I don't know, a lot of things. I think that why the fans exist nowadays, and maybe will exist in 100 years or so on. But
Yes.
I don't know if worship it's that can be thinking that way of fans of people who believes in someone who really exists, not just on something we can see. I don't know if I be clear.
It's okay. Yes, yes, I understand your point. Well, what I think is that nowadays we worship many different things. First of all, I consider that we worship ourselves, some kind of narcissism.
Oh yes.
I
I am
think
very
that,
fans.
yeah, that's it. So I think also that people worship money.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
And another people worship TV.
Aha, that's it.
Or internet as Google.
Aha, that's it. Or devices. You know what? I have I don't have any problem with technology, but I have a problem with how people use it.
Yes.
Yesterday, I was crossing down the street and I saw a mother who had a little baby, kind of like 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She was crossing the street, chatting in her cell phone, and the boy was behind her. And
That's dangerous.
he was shouting, "Mommy, mommy, wait for me!" And the woman didn't pay attention to his child because she was chatting in her cell phone. For me,
It's
it was
horrible. Mhm.
incredible. And so I don't know how to call this, or people who make a fuss and they kill even people because of their fanatism about soccer or about sports. I guess some days before, I watched a movie, a news about a person who was killed because of a soccer match.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
In
No,
Argentina,
for example, sorry, the hooligans, no,
Huh?
in London,
uh-huh.
they play and they hit each other, and it's horrible. They kill people also.
So how it could be? Are we worshiping things? Are we worshiping people? Or what happens?
We worship in everything, maybe, nowadays.
Yeah, that's it. You know what? I remember a phrase that Will Smith said. He said that the problem nowadays is that we use people and adore things. We should
Uh-huh.
adore people and use things.
I think we live in a materialist world. It's
Uh-huh.
something like a material girl, no? Or
That's it.
material,
Like Madonna.
yeah,
Like Madonna.
yes,
Yes, you're right. It's a material word. And Will Smith said also that another problem is that we buy things that we don't need, and we spend money that we don't have just
yes,
to be attractive to people who doesn't care about us.
yeah. Just in order we have the new technology or the new
Mm.
thing, so the updated things. No, I don't know.
That's it. So,
Mhm.
what's your idea? What do you think, Emiliano?
And let me think my answer, and one of my another class partners who answer.
All right, Isaac. Well,
Me-
in the meantime,
uh-huh. Well, I have seen many women. I don't want to say that all women, but the majority of women love high heel shoes, love
mhm.
shoes. For example, my wife, she has 23 or 24 pairs of shoes, and she says that she doesn't have shoes.
Sorry. I have 75 because
Do you? Oh my.
Nice details. In my case, I only have 3 pairs of shoes. Men, we don't love shoes. We need shoes, but women adore high heel shoes with different color because shoes have to match with their clothes and even with the earrings or makeup even. That's why shoes for women, I think, are very important. That's why women adore shoes.
Well,
And
yes.
yes.
we love it. We love it.
Are
It's
you
good.
serious? Do you have
But
do you have
but I
75?
adore women. But I adore women.
That's great. So, but are you serious, Letty? Do you have 75 pairs of shoes?
Yes, it's really. It's how do you say debilidad?
My weakness.
Weakness.
My weakness, yes, really. Sorry, yes. Yes, shoes are my weakness. And almost always I think, oh, I don't know. I mustn't buy more shoes. But when I arrive to, for example, Forum Buenavista, because it is in front of my office, no? And I saw a new one and I like it a lot. Oh, okay, only one, only one. No? And I buy it. But yes, it's no, it's terrible. But I am trying to avoid that.
That's it. Well, you know what? I think that it is maybe not a sin, but the problem is that whenever we put things in a higher importance than people, then it is a problem, no?
Oh
I
yes.
I remember also that I was in a party
Mhm.
and nobody talked. They were all chatting by their cell phones. And I said, "Hey, is this a party? Do anybody want to talk to me? Hey, I'm here." And I really felt alone. I said, "How
Mhm.
here there are almost 100 people, but nobody speak? So
Mhm.
now what's the point to be together?"
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean when I talk about technology. Do we worship technology?
Me no.
Mhm.
Well, in my case, I
The
use,
majority of people,
yes.
yes, the majority of people love technology because more than anything else, now it is a need. It's necessary to have it because if you don't have your cell phone, you need that you are I and you're alone. You need the cell phone because it is already important for society. I consider this. However, my neighbor told me that this is he told me that the number of the beast was 666 and nowadays is WWW. I don't know if it is true. That's
Hey,
why it's a
that's
vice.
brilliant. Yes, that's it. You know what? I agree.
Yes, it's a vice. It's a vice as if cigarettes or alcohol technology is a vice too.
Yes, that's it.
Uh-huh.
Even there is an addiction that people has.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's an.
We are
I
addicted to technology.
I am
That's it.
going to tell you something. I I, the technology. I don't worship technology, but I love my cell phone. I can live without it. No?
That's it. Well, as we said before, cell phones are nowadays a necessity because it's our communication. And
Exactly.
sometimes you don't know where is your child. Well, call him or send him a message. You don't know what time you have a meeting. You don't remember. Okay, look for it into the social net that it was posted or send anybody a WhatsApp a message so that somebody helps you, or please send me your ubication, your location, and with the GPS I can go everywhere I want. So yes, it's a necessity.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry, teacher. I have to, maybe I have to leave because my PC, not PC, my tablet battery is low.
Oh, it's okay. And even though, you know what, it is time for saying goodbye.
Okay.
Okay.
I wrote my opinion on the chat.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So,
you wrote. Could you write it? Could you read it, please, Emiliano?
yes, I think we probably felt lonely. We don't have deep relationships and a way to feel comfortable with our sleeves. We both stuffs and want to be admired by others. and probably the worship is a way to feel part of something or with a purpose in our lives.
Hey, you know what? That's brilliant.
Mhm.
I guess you're right. Well, there are many,
Errors?
no, well, errors, only one. Remember that we need to use also past. We want to
Yes,
be
admired. Okay.
admired by others. But yes, you're right. Well, I don't know if you want to say any other comment, if you want to ask anything.
Ya se acabó. Maybe. Ay,
It's okay.
no, it's
Oh, she left. All right.
Yes.
Isaac Emiliano?
No,
No? All right.
No,
very
no,
interesting
yes,
class.
it was very interesting to talk about this kind of issues or topics because I consider that when we talk about this, we notice that we need more vocabulary. But with this kind of strategies, we can think about new words to express our ideas. It's a good strategy, Miss Maggie, to talk
Oh,
Yes, I
about.
agree with Isaac.
thank
Yes.
you very much. Well, I hope that you have a very good weekend and
Uh-huh.
meet you next class.
Thank you.
The same to you,
Thank
Miss.
you. Good
Have a
night.
Good
have a
night.
nice weekend. Good night.
Likewise, thank you very much.
Thank you.